Are you feeling overwhelmed by all the roles you have to fill as a self-published author? Would you like to know how one man managed to be a full-time husband and father, inventor, magician, keynote speaker, and general manager of the world's first and best online retailer of magic? Oh, and he wrote and published what I consider one of the best self-published books I've seen to date. You're going to want to stick around so you learn the inside scoop, so stay tuned. Welcome to Self-Publishing with Dale, and if you want to publish your message, build your brand, and fulfill your ambition, then subscribe and turn your notifications on to get all of my latest content. Not too long ago, I posted an interview segment about passion versus profit with world-famous magician and creativity expert Adam Wilber. In that interview, I'd asked him a number of deep questions, but my most burning question was how? How did he manage his business life, personal brand, and family life? Add to that, Adam published, in my opinion, one of the best, most polished independent books in creativity, The Magic Formula. So what exactly are his time management tips for authors and writers, and could we all do the same? Here's what he had to say.
Well, so it took from the idea of I want to write a book to fruition, it was almost 3 years. So I run a magic company. I'm the general manager of the world's largest magic company. So that's my, 9 to 5, but really it's more of a 50, 60 hour work week with that. The nice thing is there's some flexibility in the time there. I also perform keynotes as well as shows, corporate events. So between the two of those, the only time I had alone time to write is on airplanes, in traveling. I travel a lot by vehicle, so as opposed to typing, I'll audio record it. So I'll hit record and I'll usually have Post-it notes on my dashboard and I'll know the chapters or the key points that I want to talk about. So if I ever feel like I'm brain farting, I can look at my Post-it notes and just freestyle it. Obviously, there's a lot of editing that has to be done after a voice recording like that, but it allows me to, again, not feel like I'm wasting time. So while I'm driving, I might be coming up with ideas, but normally that's wasted time because you don't remember those ideas. You don't write them down. If you record every time you're driving, you're now using that time effectively and you have something at the end of it to go, oh, I can edit this down into something. So it was the travel was a big one for me, as well as my alone time at night. By the time my wife goes to bed and the kids are asleep, I usually have from 10 p.m. till about 2:30 in the morning. There were nights, obviously, as you know, you're in a groove, and I'll stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning. Makes for a pretty shitty day the next day, but when you feel it, you feel it. So it was really just sort of 2 years of that, of knowing I'm going to get this thing done. And until I get it done, I can't move on to the other stuff I want to do. So it was just every free second I had, instead of listening to music or an audiobook, I was just focused on getting that done. And then once that's done, the editing, the layout, the design, all of that are from trusted people that I work with, because I can give my ideas to it, but I'm very dyslexic. I have very severe dyslexia. So when my editor looked at that, she went, without me saying it, she went, "Are you dyslexic?" And my words are just mangled. So there's no way I could have edited this book myself. There's just not possible. So, I paid good money for a good editor. If you cut corners, it becomes very apparent that you've done so. And if this is something you're giving to the world and it's your heart and soul, would you cut corners on your health or on your brand or your image? Absolutely not. So I just made sure that the people who helped me, once the meat was there, were top of the line, and I'm very lucky to have found them.